Cool. Hey, everybody. We are Kamay, and we are revolutionizing brand engagement with AI curated video content. Video is the present and the future. 93% of consumers say that user-generated content is very helpful when making a purchasing decision. And video is better than images. Videos generate 5x more clicks than their counterpart image content. And last year alone, over $170 billion was spent on video advertising. But finding relevant user-generated content is tedious and expensive. Today, businesses hire up to hundreds of staff. These staff spend hours manually searching social media platforms to find content, watching hours of video, and then curating the best snippets and the best and most relevant snippets and showing them to their users. We give you Kamay, a video platform enabling brands to increase conversion by curating user-generated video content at scale.
Why now? AI is revolutionizing video search. Newer models like Blip and Clip enable us to build a versatile infrastructure using multimodal data, text, image, and audio. From there, we built an infrastructure that scales these technologies to video, which requires a lot of work on scaling. By doing this, we can apply this infrastructure to many video tasks, including search, summary, highlight generation. And these tasks are not possible before or takes a lot of time to implement. Teams have built custom models that work only for specific tasks, but not generalized video tasks. As I mentioned, video search used to be very manual. CC learned this firsthand, deploying and building search systems at Meta and also Bing. I work with the folks at DoD, and they struggle to find relevant information in terabytes of video data, and it's a very time-consuming process. So now we'll show you the demo of our first use case, which is content curation and repurposing for brand managers and content managers. So imagine you're a brand manager trying to understand who talk about your brand online, what's going on, getting a sense of things. And you want to launch a marketing campaign around a specific products. We enable them to do that by just type in the natural language query, haircut product, and maybe put in a reference image before and after. From there, we extract the exact snippets of video that answer that question. Here, she's talking about how Wickamore haircut product helped her in her hair care journey. There's also stats on the side, so they can decide whether they want to repurpose or publish the content elsewhere. If they like it, they can click repurpose right here. We should then publish it to other medium. Right here, as you can see, we show an example of doing that for Instagram. If everything looks correct, you can click publish, and then the video go out to social media. We talked to many brand marketing managers, and we learned that these processes usually take 1 to 2 weeks, and they have to work with third-party agencies, which is very expensive and time-consuming. Now we make working with video 10x better and 10x faster. And in the weekend, we built a fully functional search interface for a brand like Sephora. And if you want to see a live demo, come up to us after the presentation.
Okay, but how does this actually affect conversion? What we know today is that testimonials increase conversion by 34%. What we can do is surface the video content in your own website for the products in the product discovery phase, for instance. Then in the next stage of the customer journey, when you have identified a product that you like, we can give you how-to videos. And that increases trust, which then increases conversion, because now you have validation that this product is being used in the real world. And lastly, we give you the social proof at the checkout. That enables you to see, okay, this product is working for someone who is real, and you go through the conversion. The exciting use case is marketing campaigns that are hyper-personalized. So in this example, we show you how a Sephora campaign could look like for your product, plus a direct excerpt of what a human-generated video is. And that could lead to multiple personalized campaigns.
How we think about the space is on two axes, from how targeted the solution is to how streamlined and automated it is. On one end, we have these UGC video companies like Billo and VidMob, where you still need to create the marketing campaigns yourself, whereas we are helping you find existing content and integrating it directly into your product surface area for maximum conversion. And then on the industry specific access, we have new AI video search technology companies like 12 Labs and Coactive popping up. But whereas they provide a very generalized video search solution, we've identified a very high value use case to go after directly.
Sorry, what are the two axes again?
It's like industry specific and automated. So how targeted the solution is and how streamlined and automated the solution is. And we are the right team to do it. Nyla is a machine learning data scientist focused on computer vision at NVIDIA. Juan is a multi-time technical co-founder. He was the co-founder of Inside Maps and Kite.com, which was acquired by a firm. Mac is a machine learning engineer who's been focused on large language models infrastructure for the past couple of years. And I was a product manager on machine learning search and ranking at Meta, as well as at Bing. So thank you for the time, and thank you to the Inception team for creating a wonderful weekend and bringing us together.
So any questions in the room or online?
Just to follow up, so the mission is to make the video search more.
So just to follow up on the mission is to make the video search more relevant and more automated. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So we think that the video search makes it a lot more automated. And we think the other axis we differentiate on is actually targeting super specific use cases with brands, which we think are very high value.
Thank you so much for the presentation. For brands to partner with influencers, there are two things to consider. One is that how does the messaging match with the brand identity? So are you doing any sort of context, like what the brand's like previous identity and previous campaigns were in the past for relevance? And second thing, there's always like, is the audience of that influencer the right one? Like, you know, you don't want to target kids if that's the majority of the influencer and you're targeting like a hair loss product, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think it's important to note that we're not necessarily working directly with influencers. We are leveraging the user-generated content that's from influencers as well as ordinary users. So I think that's the first important point. The second important point that you brought up that we think is really, really valuable is giving brands the tools to ensure that the content that we're showing is really tailored to the brand's image and their voice. So totally to your point, we really want to make sure that the user-generated content we service, and that the brand would be proud of that content and excited to showcase it. And then to your last point here, shoot, I forgot it. You had one more question. Oh, right. Yes. So the last question was around the audience. That's a really good question. We're hoping that we can start getting biographical data, basically whatever the brand has, to really start tailoring that image. Also, we're hoping that, you know, for specific product lines, they'll have like well-defined demographics that we can figure out. But that's a really great question. And it's definitely something we're thinking about.
So if you saw in our demo, we're able to input demographic information and we're able to input the image that you want to achieve. And then the video is already generated. So in the curation use case, for example, you could go and see, does this influencer match my brand? And if so, I already know exactly what clip is useful to me.
Are you looking to like disrupt the existing kind of influencer kind of brand relationship? Right, because today there's like a bunch of trust involved in there for new users that don't know the existing influencer and whatnot.
We kind of want to sidestep that. We really are about authentically user-generated content. And so we really want to focus on folks who are not getting paid by these brands, because we really think that's the differentiator, is that those are the people who actually drive conversions because they've actually used the product and they're not getting paid to use it. So to the extent that we want to disrupt it, it's more we kind of want to sidestep it and avoid that entire ecosystem altogether.
And we look at the influencer and user-generated content as a first step to form a relationship with the brand. The end goal is to be able to manage all video content that brands own, whether it's paid, user-generated, or any other content they have, and being able to help them leverage those content at scale.
Yeah.
can you comment on any of the, here on Zoom, can you comment on any of the legal obstacles that may come up with resharing of user-generated content or repurposing of it?
Yeah, really good question. So we're still sorting that out. At a high level, I think the first tricky bit is indexing the content. Obviously people are doing that these days. So, it's a gray area, but it's certainly possible. So we have to figure that out. And then the second thing that we're really leveraging is we are giving brands the information about these videos. We're giving them links with like, here's the timestamp if that is the most relevant to you. This allows us to embed that content into the brand's actual page without necessarily having the brand take control of the content. So we're hoping that that allows us to sidestep a lot of the legal issues that you're raising. But to your point, indexing the content is definitely questionable at best.
So what's the size of the data that your estimate would be? And then the second question is, assuming there are a lot of, you're gonna be, well, all the video serving companies probably would be providing something similar. How do you differentiate from them?
Yeah, so for a specific brand, there might be about 50 to 100 gigabytes of video. We create all of that, index it based on both the audio and the image visual components, and then serving specific part for that brand. A lot of these video platforms are not doing enterprise kind of like brand curation content, and it's going to be pretty hard for them to move from like a generalized platform to like something that serves brand. And there's like a innovator dilemma going on there where it's pretty hard for them to like move on to this. And another reason is that like doing this at 50 to 100 gigabytes is like pretty scalable for those platforms to do it at like all the data they have with the degree of specificity that we are doing. It's not cost effective because like, as you can imagine, billions of user embeddings every frames, it's not feasible.